This is round 13 of the MXGP World Championship, and over the past 5 months it's developed in a way nobody would have predicted. Whatever could happen has happened. From the incredible dip in form of last year's runner-up Jeremy van Hoorbeek, to the crash and subsequent retirement of Ryan Filippoto, to the split-second actions that robbed us of 2 former red plate holders, Clément de Salle and Max Nagel, to the incredible rise to prominence of Romain Febvre. We thought we'd seen it all. But now, missing a GP for injury reasons for the first time since 2008, Tony Cairoli has effectively called time on his championship challenge. He may deny it, but the pressure is now on Romain Febvre to deliver Yamaha's first MXGP championship since Cairoli in 2009. And remember, this guy is a rookie. A rookie whose closest challenge will now come from his French countryman Gauthier Paulin and the might of HRC. This won't be a straight fight because Clément de Salle is back and is looking to get the GP win that has eluded him so far this year. Welcome to Locket in the Czech Republic. It's the Marmite of motocross tracks. You either love it or hate it. With Cairoli out for the next 2 races, the man that has inherited the mantle of championship challenger is HRC newbie Gauthier Paulin. For the team, this is the position they'd want to be in, but perhaps not the circumstances they would have chosen. Results based on merit is what they work so hard for. Let's take a look at what's been a challenging year for the boys in red.
Wow, it's been a bizarre year, but to be honest, in the past, we've experienced a fair number of injuries. So what the other teams in the paddock are suffering, we know only too well. You know, we've been through this for a number of years, and I've been saying at some time or other, our look's got to change, you know. Gauthier's, he's had 2 years of injury, and that changes the view of any rider. And I think that's a consideration he's had this year.
You know, first, for sure, when he signed with a team, with Honda and the HRC, the goal is to be world champion. That is very clear. All the members of the team want to go to the same goal, to be world champion. And we are just trying to work and to make him world champion. For him, for sure, he's got to get used to the bike, he's got to get used to the team. The progression is not quite flat, it's a lot of up, a lot of down. But what we can say is today we are on a 3rd place of the championship. And we are going for the next 6 race to try to be world champion.
I've been winning a lot last year, and he injured, soon, so then couldn't make the full year. This year it's a different story. I'm here in the overall championship. I'm feeling 100%, and this is good at this stage of the season.
We've seen the flashes of what he can do, but I think with hindsight, maybe he could have been a bit more explosive. So we're just hoping that, he keeps this consistency, but just picks his game up a little bit. Basically, we have a lot of staff coming to each race. And yes, we are a very big team in the paddock. Now, with HRC becoming involved, we've got more Japanese staff coming. But that's what you need for modern day racing, Days of traipsing up and showing up in your van like I did with the missus and kids, that's done, that's finished. And we strive to make the best bikes possible for our customers. And that's what it's all about, and that's what this is all about.
The first year when they were involved, for me was a little bit difficult because every time I have to come out of the bike, think first what I need, what information I have to give it. But now it's simple. Now it goes automatically because I get used to this first of all, and second, I know for sure each rider feel the bike. Each rider know what he wants and what he have to say, For the rider, it's a bit more difficult because you have to explain what you feel to a lot of people because everybody has to understand what he say. And also, this is a part of my job, is to try to understand what they feel on the track, what we need to improve, and that's also my job to explain also to the engineer.
Kick it.
The volume, it's a lot, about my feeling, the good points and the bad points we have on the bike and on the track too, and also the volume of meeting every races, every moto.
HRC is, the name is a really huge name, and to be part of this, it's I don't know what you can get better. It's really good, but now I'm so many years by Honda, and for me it's like to come home, at the weekend because it's so many years already with the same people and the same group.
Gauthier, I always have to push him to go a little bit faster, and Bobby, I always have to slow him down, not to make mistake. and for me, it's a very different way to work with both riders. But what I can say is Bobby is doing very good and he's getting better every race. So I'm very happy with him.
This track here in Lockett has been kind to some and a thorn in the side of others. For the past 20 years, it's been on the calendar. To get an idea of some of the changes that have happened for this year, let's take a ride on board with the racing brothers of the paddock. These are the Watsons.
Nathan Watson, 991, Red Bull Ice One, Husqvarna Factory Racing.
Ben Watson, number 919, riding for Hitachi Construction Machinery, Rivier KTM.
It's about 75 metres down into turn 1, which is an uphill, off-cambered left-hand turn, 180 degrees. Through the foxhole shot line, immediately we're into 5 waves. You can double towards the end, but then there are some big braking bumps into turn 2. An uphill right-hander, cresting over the jump here, landing on a plateau. Riders favouring the outside so they can sweep through turn 3 over the tabletop, and then down through the fast left-hander that is turn 4, that leads to the Monster Energy finish line double jump into the tight right that is turn 5. It's about 40 metres this next straight before hitting the Ippon step down, and that step down is about 30 metres from point to point. It's hard on the brakes in this bottom left-hander, hard on the gas. There's a slight rise now halfway up, maybe just to slow things down a little bit before the riders crest the hill, past pit lane and into turn 8, dropping down. We have a series of waves here now, riders going double single through the tight right, uphill over a step up, lower on the right hand side just in case the riders want to cut back to the inside. And then the ground falls away through that second part of the left, over a step down, falling away even further here again, off cambered from right to left before dropping off, and then hitting the fast downhill straight over the second of the Monster Energy tabletop jumps, the lowest end of the circuit, through the 90-degree right, under the Casino Bonva Bridge, the double step up, 180 right, followed by a downhill 180 left. Then it takes the riders back uphill about 85-90 meters from the bottom to the top, over the Monster Energy tabletop jump here, about 20 meters across the top, and then down into this very slow, possibly the slowest corner on the track, this left-hander. You can get over this step down before swinging through the right-hander, and then uphill into this tight right, dropping down, sweep through the fast left-hander here, and then jumping up onto the start straight, and then heading up into turn 1 underneath the foxhole shot, and that completes a lap here in Lockett. Clement de Sal back from injury here at Lockett, at a circuit that he has never missed a podium at since 2009, where he took his first Grand Prix victory in the Premier class. The gate dropped in MXGP Race 1. And the big boys headed down into turn 1, and it was Evgeny Bobashev who just took the foxhole shot and led from Roman Fevre. One or two riders getting caught out on the first lap, Dean Ferris and Angus Heidecker. But Gauthier Paulin was not in the mood for messing around. Found his way past de Sal, and then immediately past the number 17 of Jose Boutron. And that was Gauthier Paulin up into third place, trying to chase down the riders ahead of him that were his teammate Evgeny Bobashev and Roman Fevre, as Kevin Strybos also looked to get in amongst the act. Nathan Watson making a good start on the Red Bull Ice One Husqvarna, going after Tommy Searle, as Roman Fevre got closer to Evgeny Bobashev. Eventually his move came. Good drive up the inside of the Russian, and despite the fight back from the 777, it was no use, as Fevre started to pull clear at the head of the field. Todd Waters, though, wasn't so lucky, caught the rear wheel of Sean Simpson and crashed out spectacularly from 8th place. Simpson managed to keep it upright in 7th, as Tommy Searle and Glenn Coldenhoff battled over 8th place. Gauthier Paulin, a simple fall from 3rd position. He picked himself up with a little bit of a dead leg, rejoined the race, but not before Sean Simpson found a way through up the inside and into 6th. The three Belgians, Clement de Sal, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek and Kevin Strybos, were all line astern fighting over 3rd, but it was de Sal who was able to hold on from his fellow countrymen, as Roman Fevre was once again victorious for the 7th time. A great start from Clement de Sal. That Rockstar Energy Suzuki rocketing out from behind the gate. And it was the Belgian who grabbed the foxhole shot. Behind him, Gauthier Paulin in 5th place, finding his way past Glenn Coldenhoff, but couldn't quite find the speed to get past Strybos. And de Sal it was who led the way. Just warming up, Roman Fevre rehearsed a move down the inside of Evgeny Bobashev, looking to go from 3rd to 2nd. And Van Hoorbeek thought he found a way past Coldenhoff. Eventually, Fevre's opportunity came, and he was up into 2nd with that pass, and then went after number 25, Clement de Sal. It was close combat between the 25 and the 461, banging bars and trading places on more than one occasion. As Dean Ferris went out, and Nathan Watson almost running into the back of more than one rider in the race. DeSalle responding to the threats and the challenging and the hard riding from Romain Febvre, but it was clean all the way through until lap 7, when Febvre eventually found his way past. So too did Evgeny Bobashev on the very next lap, as Tommy Searle crashed out of 7th place. Kevin Strybos having a good ride in 4th, as Jake Nichols went out of 16th. Simpson down the inside of Gauthier Paulin once again to get himself in the 6th, as Coldenhoff and Tommy Searle fell in the identical place over on the far side of the circuit. But it was Febvre who went on to win again from Bobashev and DeSalle, and Febvre leads the championship now by 88 points going into round 14.
Welcome back to the Czech Republic. And amidst the rolling hills, we have a team that are pretty happy with what 2015 have brought to them so far. The Kemia Yamaha Yamalube team. With championship challenges in the 125 and 250 European classes and impressive rookies in MX2, the Belgium squad have every right to look at the future with hope.
He has that talent to be really fast on a 125 bike, and you know, the youngsters, they are a little bit wild. Some riders has problems to coming from 85 to 125. He was really fast in the beginning already, and that was perfect. So it was a really big decision of the team and Yamaha, because Damon should be going really good in the MX2 class. Some reason in training I saw that Brand was doing really good. He was fast and he was ready to go also to the MX2. So I had a problem. I had 3 riders who could go to MX2.
I could train like really all winter long, and never had that before, like the years before. We went to France often. My teammate Patrol, you know, there are some good tracks and a lot of people. Like they water the track for us and make it loose, like perfect, you know, like GP tracks.
Damon was going down and he needed something from the team to say, hey, you have to do something to come back for his own good, you know. So that's why my decision was to go down with him to a European Championship.
They just wanted to have me in the GPs, and I was so happy. I took that chance immediately, because it is always my dream, and maybe you never get that chance anymore.
If you see now what's happening, I think I did a good move with those riders. Both now going on top level.
No, we're such a good friends. He's a really nice guy. Sometimes you need to be careful in the race that you don't think like he's my friend and just see him as another rider, you know.
Yes, I won't push every race, but because when I born, I won't become professional in motocross, and it's really important to arrive in this level, and it's my dream to ride in World Championships.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough, I know. Not easy when you lose your teeth in a race and you just keep going.
It's my personality. I'm not top in pit lane. I don't like that, because the team work really hard, and me, it's my profession. Yes, I have pain in qualification, but it's better to finish 20 or 40, I take a small point, but for the championships it's important.
You see that he has the speed, he is physically in shape, and it's the first year Grand Prix, so it's also experience, I think. So next year, if we have a good winter with both riders, I think we can have a good team.
It was all smiles in the Hurlings camp on Friday night. He was back, he was clear to ride, and his elusive third world title was still on. Saturday didn't go so well, however. He was bumped around at the start and dropped to the back of the pack. As soon as he started to make ground, tragedy struck once more. Another crash on his own, but this time it was worse as he was hit by an unsighted and blameless Jordi Tixier. Once more, his championship hopes were dashed. This time with a dislocated hips. Hurlings is out. That left the chasing group with much more than a sniff at the championship. This was the time to stand up and grab it with both hands. Who would be the one to take it? The gate dropped for MX2 Race 1, and Samuele Bernardini on the TM. It was who grabbed the Fox hole shot. There was a little bit of bump and grind going on. Pauls Jonas up the inside of Ben Watson as they jostled for position on the opening lap. Petrov finding his way past Watson as Bernardini led. Behind him was the number 1 of Jordi Tixier as Brian Borges tried as hard as he could to find his way to the front. The battle between the 2-4-3 of Tim Geisser and Jeremy Seewer wouldn't end just there as Max Anstey went after Jordi Tixier and found his way into second and went after Bernardini for the lead. Bernardini then started getting pushed backwards, first by Tixier and eventually by the number 41 of Jonas. This was the talking point of the race though. Geisser going out, Seewer running into the back of him and damaging the silencer on that Honda. Geisser would be out of the race. Valentin Guillot, meanwhile, found his way down the inside of Pauls Jonas to get himself into third. But then at the bottom of the hill, the very next lap, the Swiss rider was down. Jonas and Benoit Paturel would go back past the standing construct Yamaha, who had it all to do again in the second half of the race. He found his way past the number 6 of Paturel, and a lap later, he did exactly the same when he found his way back into third, passing the 41 of Jonas. Petrov was in an aggressive mood as well, got himself into 5th, but on the final lap, Valentin Guillot made this move on Tixier to get himself into 2nd. Max Anstey was oblivious to all the action going on behind him, and he was victorious in race 1. Anstey getting a great jump on the number 99 Monster Energy DRT Kawasaki, and it was he who grabbed the Fox hole shot by the narrowest of margins, because on the exit it was Tim Geisser who blasted around the outside of the Kawasaki rider and into the lead. Bernardini made another good start and was well placed in third. So too Valentin Guillot, Jordi Tixier and Benoit Paturel once more. Geisser survived this moment as he led. Max Anstey was on board and wondered what was happening next, and 2 corners later, Anstey found his way around the outside of the Honda rider and into the lead. Anstey started to pull clear, but 4 laps later, his hand came off the handlebar through the rhythm section, and the Brit was down and out and would not pick up points in race 2. Pauls Jonas was having a good ride just ahead of the number 91 of Jeremy Seewer, but then he lost the front end and fell from 4th position. He remounted to finish 7th. Petr Petrov was one of the riders that went through. All eyes were on this battle though between Geiser and Guillaume. The two riders battling not only for the race win but vital World Championship points in the MX2 title fight. Benoit Paturel nudged aside Jordi Tixier to get himself into 4th to record his best result of the season. But Valentin Guillaume on the standing construct Yamaha pulled clear of the Honda of Tim Geiser. And it was he who went on to take his 3rd race win and 3rd Grand Prix victory of the season. Geiser came home 2nd, Jonas was 3rd, and the overall looked like this. Guillaume, Jonas and Tixier, Paturel and Petrov rounding out the top 5. 24 points now though, the gap between Herlings and Geiser, but Guillaume right there as well, tied on points. Can he do it again when we go to Belgium next time out?